Ew, yeah, you can see like all this dust built up. It's really built up in here. Hey, my name's Sarah Prawn, and thanks for coming back to my channel, or thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to oil and maintain a vintage Kenmore sewing machine that I picked up for a really great deal off of Marketplace. So I'll show you the sewing machine that I'm working with. So here's the machine, she's a beauty. And what we're gonna be working with is this clear, it's called Sew Right. This is what they had, this is what they recommended. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take off the top and see how everything's doing. So there's a screw right there and right there that we're going to undo. Oh, before that, something I forgot to mention is I already took out the needle from right there. I just sort of put it over there somewhere safe. I'm gonna end up throwing it out. It's probably dull, but we can also take off this presser foot. At the back, there is a lever, so lifts up the presser foot, and then we can undo this, and then this should come right off. So yeah, you just put this aside because we won't need it in place for now. Okay, I unscrewed the two screws here. We're gonna take the top off. So inside, you wanna take the oil and basically give a little dab anywhere that there's mechanisms that will be moving. So what you can do is hand twist, hand crank the side, and what that does is, right there. It raises and lowers the thing that holds the needle. I don't know what it's called. Anyways, if you move this inside the machine, you can see the different areas that are moving, like right here, right here, and down in there. Definitely would give some oil. Yeah. Any part where there is metal touching metal, plastic touching metal, you want to give a little dab of oil. And then right here, this gear right here is covered in old, gross looking oil. So I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and clean that off. Yuck. I just laid down a towel because I don't want oil to get on my things. I have a nice vintage desk and I'd rather it, I don't think oil will hurt it, but I'd rather just stay nice and clean in here. So what I'm going to do is remove this piece. So we're gonna need to access some other bits in here. And I need to, oh, look, you can access the bobbin in here. So in here, you can pop these things open, and then this thing comes out. That's what holds the bobbin in. And then this whole thing comes out, and I don't know what the other pieces are called, but yeah, this is where the bobbin thread goes. I did manage to take this thing off. Here is the motor. So this belt, it actually feels like it's not brittle, I don't think, so I think I can still use it. Very cool. I'm just gonna start dabbing some oil on here and hopefully, oh look, I didn't realize this. So when I'm taking the cap off of this thing, there's actually like a long tube that, oh my God, how long is this thing? Wow, okay, so there's a long tube so you can really get in there with precision. How cool is that? I'm going to take the oil and just dab it in all of the little joints. I have some Q-tips here and an old rag just to clean up any mess. So if you turn the crank, you can kind of see where it's spinning or where it wants to spin. Dab right there. Dab. Back here. Dab. And a dab. just sort of spin it to incorporate in there. And then you can kind of wipe out the excess if it starts dripping. I put the bottom plate back on, and we're gonna flip this bad boy over and oil up the inside now. Now we're just gonna do the same thing here. You can see all the gears moving. I'm gonna start over on the left side and work my way over. Before I put oil on this side, I'm going to clean this gross old grease off of here. I asked the woman at the sewing and quilting craft shop locally if I should buy separate grease, because I saw different recommendations online for different types of lubricants, but she said it's not necessary and just using a high quality clear white sewing machine oil should do the trick, so that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, this is not very nice looking. Get it off the machine and put some new stuff on there. Okay, I have that cleaned up, I think good enough. Probably could have just left it, but it looked pretty gnarly and I wanted it off of there. And I'm just gonna add some oil, little drops of oil to all the moving bits in here. One thing I really wanted to point out is there's little mechanisms that serve a good purpose that have little joints inside of the machine that need to be oiled up that you might not consider. Like there's a reverse lever on my machine, and this is what it does. So there's a bunch of different joints in there that I'm going to lubricate that I didn't know I was supposed to. So I also took off this side plate just to access these different gears in here. So when I spin this thing, yeah, so that's where the mechanisms are, where it pushes the needle up and down. So I made sure to give a whole bunch of oil right there just to make sure everything was gliding smoothly, and it is. I took the foot plate off, whatever this thing is called. I took that off and it's really gross in here. I don't know the last time this thing has been maintained, but it's an old machine, so it's due time anyways. So I'm gonna come in with just an old paintbrush that I've cleaned really well, and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, 99% in a dish. First I'm going to take a bit of the alcohol and try to get some of the major stuff off of here. Ew, yeah, you can see like all this dust built up. It's really built up in here. Okay, I have this all cleaned up now, and I can add some oil to the moving parts. The main one looks like this gear back there. Oh yeah, there we go. That feels a lot. Much, much better. Nice. Okay, and now this moves. I put some here. Some back here. It's all shiny and clean. This is all the dust that I got out of there. There's more, but some of it went in the garbage already. This is all the gross dust and old thread that was in there, so it'll be nice and happy and hopefully won't get caught up in the gears. Now I'm going to put the presser foot back on, and I'm going to put a new needle in the machine. So here's the presser foot, and here's the little part that attaches to the machine. So over here, there's this little crank, and you just sort of fit the foot in there and then tighten it up. There. I just picked these up at my local sewing supply store, just universal needles, because I'm going to be trying out all different projects. So this is just gonna go in this part right here, and this has that crank that is, oh, and I'm just noticing there's a bit of oil that I'm gonna clean up, just so it's not going into, the needle that's going into the fabric, of course. There, just make sure that's all nice and clean for the new needle. There, okay, so I put the needle in there. I'm just gonna tighten it up. Here's the machine all cleaned up here. Everything is put back together and all shiny. I accidentally took off a little bit of the paint from here. You can see on the 12. Accidentally cleaned it a little too much with the bristle brush. So I think the plastic pieces on here have a different type of paint than like this paint right here. This wasn't affected. So anyways, I got this all cleaned up as good as I can, and I have it plugged in. There is the foot pedal down here. And let's see. Oh, I guess I should turn it on. There's this. Oh, there's the light here too. The plate is busted, but that doesn't matter obviously, so. Everything sounds like it's working okay, I think. It seems to be working just fine. So thanks for joining me on this adventure. Bye.